Welcome back, YouTube. That's too loud. Welcome back, YouTube. Tutor UK. Pickups video. Big hitter extravaganza. Collection update extravaganza. Hope we're all doing well. It's been a bit rough, actually. That's a couple of days, ain't been right. I'm getting old. The old ticker's on the way out. Mrs. says I'm a hypochondriac. She's probably right, but yeah, it ain't been good. I'm pushing on. See the things I do for you. I'm doing this shitty channel. I even didn't have a drink last night. You know when I know when I'm back. No beer. I feel a bit better today. Hence the video. Sunday today. Sunday. Don't know when this video is going to go up. But it's going to go up after the last one, clearly. But for those eagle-eyed, some may recognise this game. This is Border Down on the Dreamcast. Yes, on the Dreamcast. We've got it working. We've got the GDEMU working. What an absolute nightmare that was for me. So I'll have to watch back the previous video because I can't remember what I said and what I didn't say. But essentially, I think I've got a couple of the pieces, and I was waiting, I think, for the actual board and the 3D printed module, which looks something like that basically. And then you plug said board, or connect said board. The best thing to do is go and watch Aunt Harper's video. That was kind of the inspiration behind this. I've sort of seen this knocking about. It's a couple of years old now, maybe a year or two old, but they were really expensive. The ODEs, optical drive emulators. So you're replacing the optical drive essentially. And they weren't cheap. They weren't cheap. I can't remember what the chap's name is that does them. He just wants the Dreamcast as well. But these, basically what's in here is a clone. Still too loud down my ear. It's a clone, what they call a clone board, which, touch wood, has been alright. I've not had any problems with it. I don't think it's advisable to flash them, so you don't really want to update it, just leave it as it is. And to be honest, it plays most things you chuck at it. But anyway, yeah, so in the early days they were quite expensive, and obviously the official ones are quite expensive still. Again, I can't remember if I said this in the last video. I did see rumblings of a clone one for the GameCube as well. So I might look at that next month or whatever, funds permitting. But essentially for me, I mean, put it all together, basically mimicked what Ant did. I was going to video, and then I thought, you know what, let's just dry run it, just in case. And good job I did as well, because it would have been a right old fucking mess. So, essentially, my good mate Rob, he bought over 2 Dreamcasts. I can't remember the one is now, bloody put it away somewhere. That he got from the car boot from Ian in Kiox. And Ian basically said, look, they don't work. And I think Rob said he'd give them a £5 each from. And sure enough, they didn't work. One of them powered up, wouldn't read the disc. The other one didn't power up at all. So I just took the one that did power up. Because you don't need the optical drive and you don't need the power supply. Because it's got, like I told you in the last video, it's got like a Pico power supply. Which is advisable anyway. Because I mean, let's be honest, the Dreamcast power supplies were never that reliable anyway. And it stops them overheating. Again, that's all in the last video, don't go over that. But because obviously, you know, Ian and Rob, they've just obviously been in the sheds and garages and not been used and not been looked at for God knows how many years. The ports work, the joystick ports weren't working, so I kind of managed to cobble it together, get it working, and then the pads wasn't working, so the video would have been a bit of a nightmare, because basically I didn't have a working Dreamcast from the off. It's lovely now. I've cleaned it all up. It's been in the bath. Cleaned it all up. It's lovely now. But part of the problem, or part of the issues you may run into with the GDEMU for the Dreamcast, is actually building the card image. So it's an SD card image. And there's a lot of stuff floating about on the internet. You can all Google it. You can all look at it and whatnot. But this is my experience. So essentially, I bought a micro SD XC card, 256 gig, about 30 quid. And a lot of the official pages said, oh, you can't use them, this, that and the other, and obviously didn't find that till afterwards. So I'm pissed about with this fucking Dreamcast, and I come to the kicker towards the end. You know, and I'm tearing my fucking hair out. It's going grey as it is anyway. It's getting fucking long. The old fucking Corona. Fucking bullshit again. And I'm like, oh man, this is not fucking working. I could get the games to load onto it, and then it would start crashing. It would start black screening, almost like it's locking up, doing weird shit. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, the board's the fucking GDEMU board, because it's a Chinese clone. It's obviously fucking Jing Pao's fucking doing it on a Friday afternoon and not soldered it properly and all kinds of stuff. But essentially, with the memory card, I actually got the GDEMU memory up, and it was all there. You know, I could play one game and it would load, and then I'd try and come out of it, and then it would crash, and all kinds of shit. So I was thinking, well, actually, look, the memory card works, so it's not that. So if anyone tells you you can't use a micro SD card with an SD adapter, they're lying. You can, because mine works fine, and it works perfectly, and it's quick. Building the image can be a bit tricky. Obviously, because it's GD, which is gigabyte drive, a lot of the images are a gig in size. The games are gig in size per disc. Not all games are actually physically data-wise a gig. There is a list. I might put the list down the bottom if you want, or put a link to the site that I use, where someone's sort of listed the ones that they've tested that definitely don't work, that have to be a gig. So some of them you can use something called GD Shrink or GDI Rebuild. I think I use GDI Rebuild. I couldn't find GDI Shrink. I think it's a Linux app. Anyway, so I've shrunk fucking loads of games down, and obviously I'll show you the menu in a minute on this. And I've still got like nearly 100 gigs spare. So yeah, it's worked out really well. The problem that I had was pulling my hair out. So obviously I don't sit at this CRT. My sort of station's like an LCD Samsung panel. So that's what I was using as the sort of test, because obviously I'm not going to keep. And why wouldn't I? It's got a SCART socket on there. This is a SCART lead. I don't think it's RGB. I don't think it is. I need to check actually. I don't think it is. I think it might be composite over SCART. But the kicker for me, the real kicker, the reason why I was having all these problems with it, was it must have been some sort of sync issue or whatever. I've asked Aunt Harper and Big Mike, but Big Mike's had one of these for about 3 years and not plugged the fucking thing in. Just see if they have an issue with SCART. Because it was getting to the point where I'd sent the eBay seller a message saying, look, I think this card's got an intermittent fault. Because I say one game would work, I'd reset it, then it would just lock up. I'd have to reset it about 10 times, then it would suddenly start working again, and that was it. Continuous. It looked like it's an intermittent fault. So I sent them a message saying, look, I think the card's fucked. What do you want to do? I didn't send them I want to send it back thing. I just asked them like, what do you want to do? So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I've got to strip all this down, you know, the whole rebuild and put it all together, take it all apart, because obviously I want to keep the 3D printed parts and replace the board. I thought, okay, what I'll do just before I start doing that, just to make sure that my SCART lead is working correctly, and just to sort of say I know it's working, I'll just plug it into the B&O. So I fucking clambered over all the shit here, plugged it in, and it just pinged into life perfectly, like you'll see here. I couldn't believe it. Honestly, I couldn't believe it, guys. I was pissing about this for fucking days and days, and I was like, oh, at the end of my fucking rope. And then all of a sudden it works fine. So an example I'll show you. What we'll do, we'll turn this off completely. I'll just show you the inside. I'll show you what she looks like. So essentially, this is the Dreamcast from Rob, aka Inkyox. So it's been in the bath, cleaned it all up. It's lovely, and so now you can see there's the Pico power supply. So the old radio wire, the figure of 8 one's gone. It did have problems with the front there, to give them a bathing isopropyl, and that's what it looks like inside. So it's nice and clean, it's light as anything. There's not any literally hardly any weight to it. Yeah, it's in quite nice nick now. So this is well, you can't see it. I think this is composite. So I will be looking next month when my funds permit to get the proper RGB one. But yeah, essentially, hopefully you might be able to see it. The only problem I've got with it is that stupid battery, so when you turn it on, it usually asks for the time again. That's just, I'll have to sort that out. There you go, look how quick that's loaded up. And you can't see all the games on there. But yeah, so on the LCD, that would come up 1 in 10. A game would load okay-ish. Some games would like be glitching and skipping like Crazy Taxi and stuff like that. And it's like fucking hell. And then I'd reset it because obviously the button on the top there where it brings you back to this menu here, and it will just lock up. It'll black screen. Oh, it's a nightmare. So yeah, but what I have done with this, what you can do, which is sort of opened up another little avenue with the old Dreamcast, is a load of the Thomas Wave games have been converted to run on the Dreamcast. So I think I've got most of them on here. I think I've got all of them on here. Obviously I've got a load of the indie games as well, so your sort of Xeno Crisis is on here. I've got some PlayStation ones running via Dreamcast. I haven't tried them yet. There's Ghost Pilots on the Neo Geo one here. I've not like put every fucking thing on there. I mean, the bulk of it is Dreamcast games, and it's not all of them because I didn't want all of them on there. Just some I wanted to play, some that I knew were quite good. Yes, you're all going to laugh, fucking play. You're joking, Stu, but they're on there anyway. There's a few converted Japanese games as well. Like this one here is called Big Blue 6. It's like a exploration RPG underwater game. So that's been fan translated. So a lot of fan translated games on here. All the shooters and shit like that. Load of Japanese stuff, American stuff. What was I going to show you? Oh, this is one of the games that's running to Blink. I haven't tried this yet. It's called Gaia Seed. I ain't got a clue if it's going to work. But yeah, I mean, for the options it gives you, you know, as assuming you've got a working Dreamcast, to sort of working-ish, as long as it's not like, there you go, look, Dreamcast. So I haven't even tried this yet. But the hardest part is basically building the disc image, because some games will glitch. They'll glitch it out. There was one that's been converted, it's been fan translated. Fan translated. Karos had some issues with that. Did some scrapping around on the internet, and someone really managed, very kindly managed to get the original Japanese GDI image, patch it with this patch, then reduce it down to CDI. Because it was doing weird things with the menu. It's a known glitch, but they reckon it works. I haven't tried it on this one yet. But yeah, this is basic Gaia Seed, which is a PlayStation game run on the Dreamcast. And, you know, there's all the big hitting Dreamcast games have been converted across to PS1 games on this. Like I say, I'm not going to load it all up with every single fucking Dreamcast game or every single PlayStation 1 game. That's not what it was about. But it just opened up a few of the games, you know, and it's just so easy. I say once, just don't fucking try and test it on an LCD panel with it. It might just be the shitty lead that I've got. I don't know where I got it from. It must have been a car boot job lot. I don't think it's RGB. Like I said before, I think it's composite over over SCART. And it just played havoc with the panel. It really did. It was just completely threw me off, because if it hadn't worked at all, that would be a different story, you know, like nothing. The fact that it did work and then it didn't work and then it did work, fucking drove me insane. So anyway, many thanks to Fob for the actual Dreamcast. If anyone's thinking of doing that, happy to advise. I say the sort of the tutorial I followed was Ant Harper's. Dead straightforward, dead simple. He got a different, his 3D printed module was slightly different to mine, because his was angled. He had to bend up, which is okay. Mine's just a straight drop. which kind of makes it a little bit more awkward to get the memory card in and out. But if you watch Ants where you have to bend the reader up, you don't have to do it on this one. I'll put the link to the bits that I bought if you want for this. It was like 30 quid for the board, 13 for this, 30 for the power supply, and then 30 for the memory card. But the memory card, I mean, like I say, there's so much on there, and I've still got 100 gig space. You know, some of the games, they're not very big either, obviously, you know, depending on what you're putting on there. And there's a load of Thomas Wave games on there. The only weird thing I found with the Thomas Wave games, it doesn't like you resetting it. It just sort of like locks, because obviously it's not a proper Dreamcast game, so it's not within its code. So you kind of, when you reset it, it just sort of like glitches out like, so you just have to power it off and power cycle it. Obviously it doesn't respond to the ABXY and start reset, which is a default for Dreamcast games. You know, press 4 buttons and the start button, it'll bring you back. So it doesn't really respond to that kind of stuff, which I'm guessing this probably wouldn't either. It probably wouldn't like it, because you're just literally like fucking cutting it off halfway through. But yeah, like I say, once you get most of the games on your card, you're not really going to be taking out too much anyway, I don't think. But there's plenty going on with it, you know, in the scene on the Dreamcast. Not so much obviously with the original library, because that's all been done and dusted, but all the other weird stuff, aka Thomas Wave. So that's where I've got with that. That's what I've mainly been doing all week. Bending the lads here, especially Mike. Fucking trying to get Mike to plug his in so he can test it, just for my own sanity. Like fucking pulling teeth. He just kept sending me links to YouTube videos. I'm like, mate, I can fucking Google that myself. I don't want YouTube videos. I want real world experience. Because everyone on YouTube just makes videos of stuff that works. I fucking tell you everything that goes wrong. It's alright when it all goes right. It's when it goes wrong, that's what the fucking videos you want to watch. So yeah, that's my experience. Unless you've got a decent quality RGB SCART lead, I wouldn't plug it into an LCD to test it. Tell you that much for fucking out. Not got a great deal else, but some nice titles. That makes sense. Yeah, it's not oodles and noodles stuff. Talking to my mate Fob, Rob, I just watched his video this morning. He had these on the back burner for me, so he popped over when he brought the Dreamcast over. I'd give him a couple of duplicates that I dug out. You'll see from the last, I think I mentioned it in the last video. I don't know if you can see him here, it's still there, look there. Yeah, because he sort of said, I don't understand how Stu's got doubles. It's because stuff's just shoved in there, and I haven't catalogued any of them games. But what he did show, God, this is going back a couple of weeks now. I think he was digging around in his shed, or in his loft. Because we were talking about shows, you know, obviously no shows and stuff like that. And he was showing different things like PlayStation games, blah blah. Anyway, he showed some NES titles. I said, look, I need them too. He's like, they're yours, put them to one side for you. So he's very kindly brought them over. This one's in great condition. Dr. Mario on the NES. So we're chipping away at that NES set. Coming for your big game, Al. Watching Al's video last night. Doing alright on the cube. And Black Label Golf. I think I've got the instructions for this. Needs a bit of the old Pritt stick on the label. We'll sort that out. Yeah, a couple of more titles off the NES list. Thanks to my old mate Fob. Give them that needs a clean up, but we can deal with dirt. Dirt's not a problem. Said that before. So we'll put them up there so I don't forget, and I'll get them cleaned and bagged up, never to be seen again, never to see the light of day. Let's see if it works. I've never tried this with a reset. It might just lock up. See what I mean? It's to stop the music. It doesn't register it. You kind of have to power cycle them. We'll put the Thomas Wave game on and we'll leave it running. I think I've got like 230 or 40 games on here. Something daft. 230, look. There's Xeno Crisis, I don't know if you can see that there. Volgar's on here. Trizao, Trigger Heart Excelia. That's one I got language conversion for. The Lost Gollum. I do some sort of puzzle game. Let's find. There's Ghost Blade as well is on there. Trying to find. The only thing you can't do this, you can't create folders. You can't put stuff in folders. So I wanted to create like an Atomic Wave folder or something, but you can't. You can put a blank directory in there, so it will chop that list up. But I thought there's no fucking point in that. 7 Mansions, that's another language conversion. Rumblefish. See, Rumblefish is the Atomic Wave game. Where's that Karos? Rajadee's on here. Fucking so many games. Neo Geo XYX. Naples Tale Aricia. That's translated. That's I remember playing that originally on the Dreamcast years ago in the Japanese version. There is a little bit of a language barrier. You can kind of get through it, but that's obviously all English. Moho. Got to put Moho on there. Just Metal Slug 6. There we go. Look. Let's put Metal Slug 6 on. This is Atomic Wave. So again, you won't be able to sort of jump out of this, but you can see how quickly it loads. He says. This does because I've been playing. I played this earlier. This was one of the games because I had like a smaller memory stick that I was just trying stuff on. So I've got this running actually on the panel at one point. And obviously the Atomic Wave games, they're arcade conversions. They're not home consoles. So you're basically playing the arcade game. Hopefully that's got an intro. It should have some sort of a track mode. He says. If not, it's going to look stupid. I'll have to pause it here. Just see if it comes alive. Right, so Metal Slug didn't have an intro. I think it might have something to do. I think they're all set to free play. I'm not sure if you can change that. There might be like a sub menu. I'm not sure. I'll try and Fist of the North Star. See if that's got an intro. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Right down there it says free play. So I played this actually on the panel. We'll see if it's got an attract mode. But yeah, Atomic Wave game. For those that might not know. Right, let's move on because this is going to get chopped hell out. Otherwise, right. God damn it, it's a bit loud down in the gold. Ooh. I think one of the speakers might be on its way out. Did say it before, didn't I? But I just turned that down, I could hear it. Anyway, never mind. There we go, look. Right, let's move swiftly on. It's all that bullshit. It's too loud. Right, upgrades. Upgrades. That's really good, this is. Mentioned this guy last vid. Oh, Boofy lad, Boofy, Retro Boofy, sent me a message, bless him. He said, oh, I'm not sure if you've seen this, Stu. Might be worth a bid on eBay. And I was like, mate, you're an absolute fucking diamond. He doesn't know I won this, I didn't tell him. But essentially, I was gonna... These two are both Mega Drive games. And I was looking to buy this from some guy in Galaxy Retro Round, can't remember which one or the other. And he never got back to me, because I think he was waiting, he'd offered it to some other guy, and I was like, oh, whatever. And then I've won this for a fraction. Maybe half. No. Given its value, the guy was selling his copy for €115 with postage. You know, it's about 100 quid, over 100 quid, which is still a really good deal. He didn't say what the postage was. I mean, I said to him, I'll take it. He never got back to me. This one came up with 2 other games in a bundle, and I won these for 80 quid, I think. And it is Aero the Acrobat 2. So yeah, Blue Spine! Sega Zombie Scott Brand. Fellow admin Retro Rail, Sega's up. Sega. Married to Jade. Gotta put a ring on it. What is it? If you want to put a ring on it. I don't know what the fuck I talked about. But yeah, mine was missing the manual. We now have a lovely manual thanks to Retro Boofy. It's a Blue Spine! I'm going to put that in a box protector. But yeah, chuffed. In the immortal words of Sega Zombie, chuffed sick. This one was an eBay purchase, not off the nod from anybody else. But weirdly enough, I'm sure this guy is was selling a load of games off. And he didn't put this one on there. This was a bid only. And I got this for a fucking bargain on eBay, a bargain price. And again, it's in lovely condition. And it is at Saturday Night Slam Masters. It's a Blue Spine! Sega Zombie Scott Brand, fellow admin Retro Round. Yeah. So this, as a game, it's not like rare or whatever, but complete, it's an absolute bastard to find. As I say, pure upgrades. I've got an upgrade list. Did I ever share? I mean, it's literally all the heavy hitters. Stuff like these two. Mega Man, the Punisher. Mega Man, the Punisher. Spider-Man animated, you know, the usual ones, but that was a real good fucking, and that is an okay, it was 200 quid. It's a lot of fucking money, but that in that condition, like I said, the guy had it on bid, and I think he thought it was going to go mad, and I thought it was going to go mad, but I just thought, fuck it, we'll chuck it in, and I won it for the opening bid. So sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I think it was just more luck than skill. It's always luck, isn't it? But yeah, really happy. And then the final thing from eBay, I'd missed out on he had a couple of these up for sale, and I missed out on a couple. I just missed them completely, except for this one. I think I caught it with like about 2 minutes to go, and all the others had sold. So I thought, right, we're going to chuck a bid on this. And a lot of people say, look at us, you're minted. It's not that, it's just, for me this year, marked, or the beginning of this year, marked the end of me having I managed to pay off a fucking dirty loan that had been hanging over me for about fucking 10 years or something stupid, 8-10 years. So it's freed up a little bit of money, I must admit. So yeah, I've been scrapping and scraping for the nearly a decade. So I thought, fuck him, I'm going to treat myself to a couple of things. Hence the few bits here. You know what I mean? So yeah, a little bit of a splurge, but I think I fucking deserved it. So this is part of like a little list I've got, and you've seen some of these a couple of videos back. Just like I said, they're not expensive. They are everything. Look, it's all relative, isn't it, in terms of expense? £10 to somebody is like nothing. To somebody else, it's fucking, you know, a couple of days fucking dinners and food. You know, that's the way of the world, unfortunately. But there's a couple of these at like what we would class as the cheaper end, which I haven't got. A couple of them I had loose. I think I've got one more loose. This is an upgrade for a loose one that I've got. And it is another added to the mighty Neo Geo AES collection, and it's the Fatal Fury Special. I say I had a couple, and I just missed out on the bloody auctions. So I got this probably for about the going rate, but it's in the UK as well. And I think, you know, the way things are at the minute, getting stuff from Japan and whatnot, I don't know. It's an honest, it's not mint at, you know, there's like a little bit of a ding there, but fucking hell, it ain't gonna get played, is it? Let's be honest. But it has got better than sex, man. Well, you're not doing it right. Yeah, I've obviously, like I say, I've got this as a loose car, and it has got the manual. To be honest, it's probably not a bad thing that I missed out on the others, because it could have got really expensive really quickly. It's about 40 summer, 42 odd. Which I think, if you look at the Japanese completed listings and stuff, it's not far off. The plastic again on this one, the internal trays, is quite nice. God, that smell. But yeah, there's a couple. There's this. There's like the Art of Fighting ones. I said they're not. I'd say no, it's all relative. They're not mega expensive. They're all about 50, say 50 odd quid. Art of Fighting 2. Weirdly enough, World Heroes, the first one, which is one I'm missing, and tends to be quite expensive. I think that might just be a nostalgia thing. I don't know. But again, that's another one that I'm looking for. But the guy who sent these, superb packaging, you know, say in the UK. But I might just treat myself, as Big Al says, treat yourself. So there aren't many sort of sub £50 AES titles. And some people at the bite nows are like 60, 70 quid, but auction wise, give or take. But it's nice just to chip them away, you know. And then the lastly, then we're done. They're done, but I'll let you go. Time for a bit of Kev's box.
Ding dong.
Kev's balls of fire.
Right, that's right, guys. Gonna put his hand in Kev's box. Ongoing. This is. Go a bit deeper. Can you see it? Rollerball. Let's have a look at that one. Can't say I've ever heard of rollerball. I've heard the roller gate. Oh. How game? I think next time I get an eBay offer, I might get some of them. Australian. Yeah, Australian. Rollerball. Pinball game. Hal Laboratories, they've obviously got a good fucking pedigree, old Hal. Hello, Dave. Not that Hal. Sorry, Dave, I can't do that. But yeah, Oz there. Bit of gump there. Fucking hell, Kev, you said you clean these, you bastard. Lying fucker. I must admit, I've never heard of rollerball. There we go. I'll put some video here. Rollerball. For those that are interested, I'll put the list, the currently running list of NES titles in the description. We'll see how we get on. Till next time, YouTube, take it easy. If anyone's thinking of doing the GDEMU, like I said, I'll put all the shit that I've bought, put the eBay links, and if you're struggling, whatever, then you know I'll try and help as best I can. I know with Macs some of the software that's available doesn't help, but you know, if you want me to build you an image, if you haven't got fucking every single fucking Dreamcast game, because it take gigs of space up, but I've got all the best ones, if that makes sense. You know, and obviously the other ones I could probably just download again anyway. But yeah, I'm happy to help where I can if anyone's interested. But you know, decent little fucking setup that is now. Take it easy, YouTube. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.